What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite jealous hater Apoc, and today we're going to be diving deep into one of Kyra's Topic Tuesdays, or whatever the hell she called it, where she gives us some very profound words and advice on sex and relationships and other things she has no clue about. Now, for quite some time, people have been speculating that Kyra is no longer friends with kkandbabyj. Well, specifically Keren, because it really doesn't seem like she has an issue with Qua, just Keren. And the evidence is really compelling. Okay, let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
Hello, you guys. Yes, today we're going to talk about friendships. That's the one that was voted the highest.
Whoa, hold on a second. Kyra has actual friends? I thought those were just people that followed her around with a vlog camera filming her life. Didn't really think those were actual friends.
Okay, so first and foremost, disclaimer.
Oh, you mean like the disclaimer you threw in your last live talking about sex and whatnot, but in your vlogs you threw in no disclaimer when you started jerking off your husband?
I have always struggled with friendships. I don't really... it took me until out of high school until I felt like I had real friendships.
She's talking about after she started YouTube and became a vlog mom and made friends with other vlog moms. You know, circle jerking each other off online for money. Those are real friendships. And who would have thought that the girl who still has issues to this day with her own partner would have issues making real world friends?
I just want to say that... yeah, I am not getting on here with like professional friendship advice. I don't have a group of 85 friends. I've lost friends. I mean, everybody has, but you know. Anyways, that's how we're starting this live.
Oh, she did not need to throw in that disclaimer. Don't worry, sis. We all know that your advice is incredible. I believe all these lives and all this advice is just a way for her to feel special because she doesn't have anything else, and that's not shade, that's just reality. She wants to provide advice to people who are super young, who don't have the experiences she has, so they'll take whatever she says as fact, even though it's all horse doo-doo. Did you see her last live? It was like the Twilight Zone.
So the first thing I want to say is friendships take work. It's like a relationship. It takes effort.
The best part is she says the opposite later. But let's make one thing clear. A friendship is not like a relationship, at least in the sense to what she shares with Oscar. But a friend is just a friend. I'm not saying you can't have a relationship with them because those friends can become your best friends. But all friendships are not the same. There's different levels. And if you're comparing your relationship with Oscar to all these other people and relating them to be the same thing, there's definitely something wrong there, especially because Oscar's also supposed to be your best friend. And you shouldn't compare that to, say, Alyssa. But this is rich coming from Kyra, who has perceived herself to only having like 2 friends, which is Alyssa and Kyla, who, by the way, has leached off of Kyra in some form. But yeah, go off about friendships, queen.
You have to provide some sort of value in your friendship if you want your friend to provide some sort of value.
What she means by that, Alyssa has to hold a vlog camera for her if she wants to get a shout out. So let's give a little scenario. If I go to the gym, right, and I meet someone and we become friends, what value does that person add to my life? I'm not saying that there can't be any value or that person doesn't have any value. But if all we do is meet up every now and again at the gym, which by the way is way more than Kyra is applying to her friends, but what value does that person apply to me? A good conversation? Free pre-workout? I mean, I'm game for both, but the reality is, that's it. There's no real value. Friendship is not this big complex thing. You just have to relate or connect with someone. Which it's funny though, she says all this, but calls her own audience family members or friends, yet she knows none of them. And sure, her followers apply value to her because they watch her content. They helped her get to where she is today. But what actual value does she apply to them? She provides the content, but there's no actual value there. It's just something for them to enjoy. So what does she actually provide for her audience? Because it seems like she's getting the biggest payout here. Kyra has everything she wants due to her fans. Her fans get to look at her life and her children. That's it. But all this is just so fucking funny coming from the chick who literally said within the same live that she sucks at being a friend. That she has expectations for you to be her friend while also providing zero value to the friendship. Fucking sick, dude.
For you. And value isn't necessarily like, you know, I don't know, take that word lightly. Like, I'm not saying you need to bring your friend flowers every day or something, but like, you know, if you want your friend to be there for you, you need to be there for your friend.
This is probably the smartest thing she's ever said, but like I said, she's also stated that she's a bad friend, that she sucks at friendships. So if that's the case, then how is she there for him?
And don't forget to just not just talk about yourself when you're talking to them. I feel like that's the biggest thing with friendships, is like, people just talk about just themselves sometimes. It's like, hello.
Yeah, I totally get that. When you have conversations with people, sometimes people just make it about themselves. Sometimes the other person likes to talk too. This happens a lot. People can be selfish.
So that's actually something I'm guilty of. I always like relate things back to me. Or, you know, I have 4 kids. I have a lot to say about my kids and all those things. And I have to remind myself, like, this is a 2-person conversation, Kyra.
Bro, I'm so fucking dead. So how the hell is she going to come on here and give out friendship advice, the do's and don'ts to a friendship, while also actively being guilty of the very thing that you're preaching against?
Okay, a lot of people are asking if I'm still friends with Keren, Alyssa. I see a few comments. First of all, I want to say yes.
When you have to say I want to, there's something to it. You know, that's kind of weird wordage for a very, very straightforward question that only requires a straightforward answer. It's always about the context. The fact that she didn't just give it to us straight speaks the real truth behind her words, especially what she's about to say next.
Friendships are a lot different when you get older, and friendships are a lot less. Like in high school, you see your friend every day at school. You text them, you go to your house, you have sleepovers, you FaceTime all the time. I'm sorry to break the bubble, but it's not like that when you grow up and you have kids and, you know, you have jobs and you're busy with whatever.
So I have a question for you, Kyra. Why in the hell are you comparing a high school friendship to the friendship you apparently have with Keren? You two never met in high school. You didn't have sleepovers, paint each other nails, and talk about boys, or any of that. You met because of this platform. You became friends off of YouTube. You know, when Keren wanted you guys to shout her out and boost their channel. So comparing all that to actual real world friends is absolutely ridiculous. And it's not like I don't agree with her. When you have children, when you have pets, when you have responsibilities, your free time is gone, or at least a big chunk of it is. But let's not sit and pretend here that Kyra lives a regular life like everyone else. She's a vlogger. She's a YouTuber. They live differently than most. She doesn't work a 9-to-5 job. She doesn't have to answer to a company or a boss. She is the boss. She picks and chooses when she wants to go on vacation. She doesn't have to get it approved. She approves it herself. She doesn't have to worry about sick pay. She vlogs when she's sick. She makes money off of her sickness. She doesn't have to worry about getting turned down when she doesn't feel good. If she doesn't feel like vlogging, she just won't vlog. But Kyra met Keren after the fact of having children. So there wasn't an issue before with Kyra going, I know she has 4 kids now, but she still was a parent, still was vlogging, still was working at the time of meeting kkandbabyj. So why is there a problem now? Not to mention, social media is her life. It's her livelihood. It's not like she has to go visit Keren. She can literally just post about her, but never does, never acknowledges her. There was no issue before. She did it before. You're telling me that she doesn't have the time to leave a comment? There seems to be no problem with posting about bullshit or these lives, but Keren always seems to be left out. I wonder why that is.
But Apoc, she doesn't acknowledge anyone else either.
I mean, she did just make time for Jess, Brittany, and whoever else on a little get-together to Tennessee, and Keren was nowhere in sight.
But Apoc, Keren was busy selling her house, hater.
Oh please, Keren came and helped Qual put together a table or whatever. You think she's gonna do anything for the house? No. So why does Kyra make time for all these other vlog moms and other friends, but not Keren? You don't think that's odd at all? I mean, maybe Kyra was just so busy with her life, she just had to give Keren the shit end of the stick and no one else. Mind you, we have 2 examples of their friendship. Oscar, Kyra's husband, flew off to Florida to visit kkandbabyj. Without Kyra, she was left in Utah, 36 weeks pregnant, to take care of 3 kids on her own during a pandemic too. I mean, I know that really says a lot about Oscar, but that's a whole other story. But how was Oscar able to do all that if they're so busy? Kyra could have went into labor at any moment and he wasn't even around. He was across the country. Maybe he made time for it. Or it's just another example that YouTubers don't answer to anyone but themselves and can pick and choose when to go places. and how much free time they actually have, because they have the ability to do that, and that's fine, but don't act like you're so busy like everyone else, because that's nothing but a bunch of horse shit. Keren and Aqua, kkandbabyj, left their community in the dust, left them in the dark for 2 weeks without saying a word, just disappeared
Because they wanted to live their life.
And you know, don't come at me with,
Well, maybe they were just busy, Apoc. Qual does real estate.
because he literally said himself that they did nothing.
Hey guys, it's Qua here and Keren, and you guys might have forgotten about us. Yeah, we took a much needed break.
Yeah, social media detox, if you will.
Yeah, like we still post on Instagram, but I just stopped like consuming everything. It's
So-
cool. We didn't go anywhere, but it's kind of nice to just take a break from just everything every once in a
Yeah.
while.
But if Oscar can just fuck off to Florida on a whim like that, leaving his 36-week pregnant wife at home with 3 kids in the middle of the pandemic, how come Kyra can't visit Keren? Or the other way around? She's already made time for everyone else except her. To be honest, the only reason Alyssa didn't go was probably because she just got back from her own vacation in Texas. Bet if she was on vacation, she would've went too. Let's also not forget that Qua went to Utah to visit okbaby as well, without Keren. So we have all these examples that there is some sort of falling out, while Kyra provides nothing except for her own words. But how are we going to believe someone who has to convince herself that she's in a loving relationship?
So yes, I have not had any type of falling out with these people. I know YouTube just like really, my fans just really want there to be some tea. And there's just, actually I shouldn't say people who genuinely care about us, but like, you know, the people that watch for drama, they want that, and I see it. I'm not gonna lie, I watch drama channels, it's interesting.
So by her own words, if you follow them but also follow drama too, you apparently don't actually care about them. But Kyra watches drama as well. She just admitted it, finds it interesting apparently. So does that mean she actually doesn't care about Keren? Point proven.
But you're not gonna get that here, because I'm just not that type of person. Even friendships that I don't have anymore are not ones that have had some crazy falling out. That is definitely not the case.
I really love how she's comparing a social media based friendship that was created on social media to a real world friendship. They were jerking each other off on YouTube for years for clout, and now that they stopped, people are asking questions. She's not going to stir up drama because that's not her. She's not that type of person. If Keren and Kyra are no longer friends, why would she bring that up and cause drama if that's not who she is? Do you see? She's not going to tell you the truth. Plus, when has she?
So to answer that, yes, I'm sorry if you came here for something different. You're not going to get it. We are still friends. Do we talk every day? Absolutely not. Do I talk to anybody every single day? No. Do I talk to my closest friends? My family? No.
I talk about providing value to friendships, but don't apply that to myself.
If I could talk to no one in a day, I gladly would, because I need like a minute, you know? I've had long-term friends turn on me for having kids. I don't necessarily think it's turning on. I mean, I don't know your exact situation or those friends, obviously, but it's very hard. Like when you become a parent, it's no longer about you or your friends. It doesn't matter if you want to talk to your friends. If your kids are demanding more, you have to give that to them, you know? And that's what I'm really trying to learn, is just like boundaries. Like,
Boundaries? What does she mean by that? Boundaries with friends? You're a parent. They don't like it. Tell them to fuck off. And she can talk about her kids demanding more attention or whatever all she wants. But how many times did Oscar leave her to go skydiving? He did that shit on the weekly. But if you have to put in work and effort into a friendship, and you have to provide some sort of value, and you can't do that anymore because you're a parent, you cannot confidently say that you are friends with anyone, because by your logic, you're not providing anything at all. But like I was saying, friendships aren't work. You don't have to put in that much effort. It's not complex. There are different levels, like a best friend or a partner, and we can talk about that. But a regular friend that you see every now and again, no. Sure, they can be your friend, but let's not pretend you have to do anything for it. Sure, don't be an asshole. Talk to him every now and again. Maybe this is why Kyra's friends are only based on social media. It's a whole I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine situation. But let me tell you right now, that ain't a friendship.
I should be able to have time with my friends and Oscar or whatever it is, like time with myself. I mean, literally, like I can't go to the bathroom by myself. And people know this. This is like a common thing. So it's not I wouldn't say they turned on you. I think that they're just trying to navigate their way through parenthood.
Those friends aren't navigating anything. They can no longer hang out with you as much because you have responsibilities, you have children. You're the one with kids, so you're the one who has to navigate through life. They're just gonna move on and hang out with somebody else, and you're gonna be put on the back burner. That's how it works. It works like that in fitness too. You get obsessed with fitness, you get really fit, you focus on that. Nobody wants to hang out with you anymore. You know, some of the things this girl says makes my ass cringe.
And sometimes that means you lose people, and people you don't want to lose or don't mean to lose.
If you lose them, does it mean you weren't providing the value you were saying both parties need to have? So what you're saying is you want them to provide value while you provide nothing to the table.
I've been told I'm too nice and tend to get walked all over. I struggle with sticking up for myself, especially in friendships. I know people like this. People very close to me are like this.
And there it is, no self-awareness whatsoever.
It's hard not to, because when you want the friendship bad enough,
or the relationship with a sociopathic, narcissistic piece of shit who treats you like dirt. Hey, her words, not mine.
You put up with a lot, but don't forget, I think you just want the friendship, maybe not that person.
If your friendship is like that, then go be friends with somebody else or go be in a relationship with someone else. Don't be like Kyra and roll over on your belly. You're way better off. And is that what she meant by her and Keren are still friends? Doesn't care for the actual person, just wants the friendship. Sounds on point. But just like the sex advice that Kyra gave, this one doesn't make any sense either. This is the same person who has to beg her partner for affection or attention or an engagement ring, who has to walk on eggshells on the daily around him so he doesn't get mad. The dude was going to leave her because she didn't let him duck and dodge his responsibilities. Oscar put Kyra through hell and probably still is. She put up with a lot of his bullshit. And for what? The sake of the relationship? Even though she hates the person? Both of them have stated before, if it wasn't for the kids, probably more like YouTube and the money, that they wouldn't be together anymore, which means they're not compatible. That does not express a healthy relationship. It screams a toxic one. And if Kyra ever got wise and left Oscar, highly doubt it, but if, that would be it for him for YouTube. It'd be over. Without Kyra and the kids, he has nothing. And I bet you she knows this and wants to leave him, but she feels bad for him, even after all the shit he's put her through.
And when you want a decent friendship or a good friendship, which you deserve, you are not going to find it with that person if they're being toxic. So don't waste your time. Be done with them. Go find other friends that are going to value you as much as you value them.
So why doesn't she take her own advice and leave the toxic relationship?
Now, at the same time, make sure you're giving what you're expecting. You know what I mean? I feel like it's so, it's almost human nature to want and to need and think about what you expect. But don't forget to do those things for other people at the same time. You know what I mean?
What the hell is she going on about? She just said not to deal with toxic people. Now you gotta give them the golden rule? Treat them like you want to be treated? So if you have a toxic friend who's taking advantage of your kind nature, who's treating you like pure garbage, please make sure you're not being too selfish, because you might be the problem. Man, Oscar really pounded that mentality into her brain, huh?
You're right. My friends don't want me anymore because I do not chill with them every day. Yes, this has been my biggest struggle with friendships forever, is literally never in my life have I been the type that likes to constantly have contact.
And again, I love how she's talking about expectations, but she expects value in a relationship while providing none herself.
Friends that don't live here, like for instance, I'm trying to think of, like, Jessica.
Oh man, this is so delicious. She just went off about how her and Keren are still friends and how the busyness of life slowed down their interaction. But she couldn't think of Keren to use as an example.
From Jess Fam, I am friends with her and I talk to her like once every 6 months. And that to me still is a friendship.
How? How is that a friendship? Apparently by Kyra's logic, value, work, and effort is how you define a friendship. But if you don't talk talk to your friend for 6 to 9 months. How is that a friendship at all? You're not building upon anything because you haven't talked to them. To be honest, it's more like an acquaintance situation. They're peers within the same field, exploiting their kids and jerking each other off, promoting each other's products. And they seem to do that a lot with Keren. They only mention their friendship with her when there's a swipe up, you know, getting that 20% commish off of her leggings. Although Kyra has still yet to rep Kick-Ass at least since the apparent fallout. Let's also not forget when Keren actually acknowledged the rumors herself, you know, spewing the same crap Kyra did.
Well, of course we're all still friends. We're just living our best life.
But not one of them, Brittany, Kyra, just none of them, came to Karen's defense when she said that they were all friends. And all you little fetuses who's watching this can go,
They don't have to explain themselves, Apoc.
you're right. They really don't. I just find it hilarious. Whenever there's a time to shine for their friendship, none of them are in sight. But when there's a swipe up, everyone's like,
Here it is. Show me the money.
Or I have a friend Joey that I talk to, same thing, like once every 6 to 9 months, and we're still as close as we were, but we don't need that constant talking and hanging out, and that is okay. That is okay. I don't know why that's so hard for people to wrap their minds around.
maybe it's hard for others to understand because you said friendships take work and effort, while also stating that you don't talk to your friends for almost a year's time and claiming that you're still just as close. No, people grow apart. And that's okay. You can still be friends. But don't come on here and act like you're just as close. And to be honest, I think it's kind of shading and invalidating your real friends who are actually there for you. Because apparently you can be there for Kyra or not there for Kyra, and she still holds you to the same standard.
Friendships are not defined by how often you speak.
No, apparently they're defined by value, effort, and work. So if you're not talking to any of your friends or spending any time with them, how is that a friendship? How is this so hard for her to understand? It's pretty simple and straightforward. It's not rocket science. To be real, I'm not shocked by this mouth-breathing mentality of hers. We're talking about a chick who has a relationship that's defined by him sticking it to her, because apparently it's his love language.
I have people that I speak to every day that I would not hang out with at home, that I would not be very good friends with. So that doesn't define that.
That's a horrible example.
I feel like sometimes my anxiety makes me flaky and I isolate myself. With someone with anxiety, I think for me, I haven't struggled with that only because I'm the opposite, where in order to feel better, I need like more human interaction, you know, like those social things.
So she handles her anxiety by social interaction, but doesn't talk to her friends for almost a year's time. Bruh.
Will you do game nights virtually with friends that live far away? I wouldn't say no, but it's just a little bit harder, and I feel like you don't have the same dynamic.
So in this whole thing, she just went off about being busy, and that's the reason why she's not spending time with any of her friends. Yet she just got presented an option to be able to see her friends in a much easier light, but doesn't want to compromise with that. Okay. I mean, she had no issue doing that pregnancy announcement Zoom call. That's not the same dynamic. The people aren't actually there. I guess that doesn't really matter when money's involved, huh?
Somebody said, I guess because y'all weren't liking each other's pictures. Oh my God. I literally can't with the internet sometimes, you guys. I really hope that a friendship isn't based off of that.
Well, to be frank, a like is way more valuable than not talking or spending any time with your friends at all. Keren and Kyra's friendship was created on social media, and when you have a pattern of behavior, liking each other's photos, commenting, and collabing, and there's a rift within that pattern, people are going to speculate and ask questions. And when it's not acknowledged, more questions and speculations are gonna arise. And I mean really answered and not being so blatantly vague.
Yeah, guys, we're still friends.
That's what she literally said, and that's it. There was nothing else to it. But Keren didn't even come to her mind when she was trying to use someone as a person that she never sees, but is still good friends with. Even though it was a big topic within this live, and she was just talking about it prior. She used the redhead instead. Not to mention both of their partners, Oscar and Kwa, took turns visiting each other without Keren involved both times. I think basing likes and comments on a friendship is stupid. It is ridiculous. But with everything else added up to all these little things, and the fact that Kyra has excuses and all these reasons as to why they don't interact with each other anymore, speaks volumes. Anyways, all you jealous haters, that's about it. Kyra can say whatever the hell she wants, or try to convince herself of something being true, when it clearly is not. Her mentality on friendship is way way ass backwards. Don't really understand how she can say within the same breath that in order to be friends, you have to provide some sort of value to the friendship, while also stating she provides no value of her own, doesn't even want to talk to him, she prefers it. My guess is when she's doing these lives, she's basing all her knowledge from her experience and relationship with Oscar. You know, no communication or value whatsoever. In conclusion,
That's just silly. Not that I need to explain myself. I definitely don't. There's a reason I never address this. It's because there's just no need, and I feel like people just want something that's not there, you know?